What's up, YouTube? My name is Joe the Bearded Nerd, and today I am giving you the second in my series, Drunk Disney Reviews. The series where I watch every animated Disney movie in order and review it drunk. Today I'm reviewing Pinocchio, which came out in 1940, the second animated Disney movie ever released 2 years after Snow White. Every episode I also make a themed drink on the movie of the week, and now I present to you Jiminy's Conscience. This green grasshopper martini has creme de menthe, creme de cocoa, vodka, and heavy cream. And guys, I've already put one of these away, and I definitely plan on putting more out before I give you guys my review. Thank you guys to YoHoDisney.com for the recipe. A link to their website will be down in the description if you guys would like to make it yourself. I cannot wait to get watching and drinking, so I'll see you guys when I am done and drunk. All right, so what is the one thing that you think about when you think about Pinocchio, right? The one thing that you think about when I think about Pinocchio is his nose, right? Dude lies and his nose gets really long, right? That's the one thing that I think about when I think about Pinocchio. And man, let me tell you, that thing happens once and it never happens again, ever. It happens once and it's like a minute and a half long, and then like the bird comes out of it and stuff, but like that's it. It only happens once, and I don't understand. And but that's fine. I just wanted to point that out, right? So this movie is now the second movie in a row where Disney is showing that it does not respect people going into empty houses. It just doesn't respect it, right? The second movie in a row. Like Jiminy at the beginning of the movie is just like, everything's dark, everybody's asleep, all the lights are off except for one house. Look, there's a light on, and he goes does the same thing Snow White does, goes and he looks and he's like, I'm gonna go in that house, and just walks into the house and just like makes himself at home, gets a little bed, gets all like nice and chill and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he fucking complains. He complains about all the clocks that Geppetto makes, and they're all tick-tocking, right? And then the fact that Geppetto snores. He's sitting here and is like, shut the fuck up. And it's like, bro, you're in somebody else's house, unannounced, unwilling, and you're just complaining? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't matter. Again, I don't remember if I did the same thing last video. What the fuck? We're going to talk about the few bad things first, and then we're going to talk about the good things, because I actually really like this movie. There's not a lot of bad stuff, but there's a few bad things I want to talk about. Jiminy has a lot of bad dad jokes that like don't land very often. Like there's one towards the beginning of the movie where he's like hiding from Geppetto underneath the music box while Pinocchio's dancing while he's still not alive yet, and he's like keeps getting smashed by the music box, and he's like, well, that's a downbeat. Like, it just, I don't know. If you're a music person, then I guess, yeah, that's great. But like his dad jokes just don't land very often. Speaking about the clocks though, those clocks are super inappropriate. Like the first few are fine. They're just like normal little cuckoo clocks or whatever. And then there's the dude that's trying to cut the turkey's head off, right? With the turkey moving its head and coming back, right? And he's trying to chop it off. Then there's a dude just trying to hunt a bird. And then there's just a drunk guy just hanging out the door with his X's on his eyes, just, oh. And then there's a kid getting spanked with his bare ass out. Like, children's movie? Hello? Like, I don't know if they did things differently in the 40s or not, but that's not something you put in the kids movie. I don't know. But also, Jiminy is horny as fuck in this entire fucking movie, right? It starts off with the fairy where like he like comes in and starts mansplaining what a conscience is while she's trying to explain it to Pinocchio, and he like, and then she's looks at him, she's like, well, do you want to be his conscience? And he gets all like red faced and he's like, well, I'll do it for you, like whatever, right? And then there's like the chick from the clock who he like starts chasing after, and then like gets thrown out of the little clock door or whatever. And then while they're all like dancing around and stuff after Pinocchio, you know, got his life and stuff, there's like a little music box that he's like dancing on top of with like the woman, and then like the dude comes over and he's basically like, fuck off, get out of here, and then he gets squished between the two of them or whatever. And he's just like, he's just constantly trying to fuck all these different things. And then the worst thing is Stromboli's French puppets with the big old honkers, like, and he's just like freaking out about it. Like, dude, Jiminy is horny as fuck the entire time. What else did I not like? Oh yeah, Coachman, the guy that like Mr. Honest Wolf, Honest John, I think his name is sitting there, and they were telling him about selling Pinocchio to Stromboli, and then Coachman's like, you know what I want you to do? I want you to go collect them naughty boys so I can bring them to Pleasure Island. Like, bro, Pleasure Island? Bring naughty boys there? Like, it's very it reminds us somebody that's been in the news in the past couple of years, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's a little weird, but I guess, you know, it was the 40s and things were different back then. So like all of Pinocchio's problems, his like everything that goes wrong in this movie, is 100% because of Jiminy Cricket. 100%. Jiminy Cricket was given his job to be Pinocchio's conscience, and Geppetto's just like, you're going to school tomorrow morning, for which I think is funny. It's not bad, but it's just funny. He's like, you're going to school in the morning, and so Jiminy oversleeps and completely fucking leaves him, which means that's why he gets kidnapped by Honest John and sold off to Stromboli, right? And then the second day, when he pulls Pinocchio out of the pleasure, when he pulls Pinocchio out of Stromboli, and he's like, I'll race you home, and so he starts running and flying, and he gets ahead of him, and then guess what? Honest John gets him again, and is just like, and then sends him off to the Coachman, the Pleasure. Like, all of his problems were caused because Jiminy didn't fucking stick around. Like, Jiminy is the problem. Jiminy is the real villain in this movie. That's my opinion. Jiminy is the real villain in this movie. He's a great character, but he's the real villain in this movie. Hot take there, you know. Donkey scene is really scary and creepy and like makes me feel really bad for the kids. It's like really traumatizing as a kid. Also, like the like weird looking thing, like the when Pinocchio finally becomes a real boy, when he's like, I'm a real boy, like, you know, like it looks really weird. Like, his face just kind of looks a little weird, because obviously we're used to looking at him as his puppet form. So it just kind of like, you know, looks a little weird, but that's about it. That's honestly all the bad things that I could think about with this movie. We're gonna go to the good things now. The meaning of this movie is amazing. The story, the heart of this movie is absolutely amazing. Teaching and quoting from the fairy kids to be brave, truthful, and unselfish, all of which with this movie 100% accomplishes. Where, you know, Pinocchio has to give up what he actually, you know, his impulses, and do something unselfish to save Geppetto. Like, I truly think that this movie has a good message to give to kids, and I love that for this. It was very entertaining. It wasn't just, well, it wasn't like it was with Snow White, which again bothered me a little bit. But if you want to see that review, it should be down in the description, or I might put a card here or there or wherever. Like, I'll you guys can go watch that if you really want to. The artwork in this movie is fucking amazing. It is a beautiful movie, obviously, for the time. The water and the way that this stuff was hand drawn, the water scenes were just amazing. It just, like, the water dripping down and stuff, fantastic. Music, also pretty freaking great. Got No Strings, the song that he sings with Stromboli, is really, really good. When You Wish Upon a Star is pretty great. That doesn't really have a great message of, you know, again, it's the same thing with Snow White of like, you know, wishing, like putting your dreams to the stars instead of, you know, taking responsibility for yourself, but still a banger of a song. This movie overall, fantastic movie. It's a classic, great message for kids. I really love the movie. It was really entertaining. I went in remembering that the movie was kind of boring, at least from when I was a kid. Like I don't know why I went in not expecting this movie to be really good, and I was really pleasantly surprised. Like I was very happy about it. So overall, 8 out of 10 is my review for this one, my score. I really did love this movie, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Thank you guys very much for watching my review of Pinocchio. I had an absolute blast watching this movie. Again, I was very pleasantly surprised that I liked this movie so much. I appreciate you guys being here. Please let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this review, and also what recommendations for drinks or anything, honestly, that you guys would like for this channel. But what recommendations for drinks in the future movies that I'm going to be having, please let me know down in the comments. It would really mean a lot to me if you guys subscribe and share this video with your friends. I'm really trying to grow this channel and really would like to, you know, continue doing this series. I will continue to do this series. The next video that we'll have that will be coming out next week will be Fantasia, the original one. I'm very excited about it. So I will see you guys next week. Thank you guys very much. Again, my name is Joe the Bearded Nerd. Take it easy.